Hi there friends, and welcome to my simple Feng Shui guide for Amazing Cultivation Simulator. I'm Icon, and this video will guide you around the topic of how does Feng Shui work in this game and how am I supposed to manipulate it positively. So first off, it's all about the harmony between the elements. You see here, the elements interact with each other, and there's always an arrow on the outer lines, which is the positive arrow, and the arrow in the inner lines, which is how these elements battle each other. So you see here, wood is good for fire, because, well, you put wood into fire and it's going quite well for the fire. Water is good for wood, because if you water a tree, it's growing, and so forth. Other way around, metal is bad for wood, because if you chop a tree, it's going owie. And yeah, therefore you are supposed to build combos that benefit each other. So let's talk about the elements themselves. Everything you build in this game is tiered more or less to some kind of element, because every building material is connected to an element. There are only a few elements, a few items which are elementless. Apart from that, everything has some kind of element. I'm going to talk about what kind of element you want to prefer in a minute. First up, I want to build up a room made out of wood, because that's the first material we'll run into, basically. And we're going to take that as an example of how to build up your Feng Shui. So after you've built up a room, you always have to think what kind of purpose has the room to fulfill. Because according to Feng Shui, the purpose is already telling you where the door has to be. Simple rules: southern side for bedrooms, western side for kitchens, eastern side for workshops. If you have trouble memorizing those, you can check out the comment section here, and inside, if you click inside a room, check out this button. People keep posting those things. Also, you can press F10 and search for Feng Shui in the help base there, and you also get those informations there. That part with doors, you just have to memorize it or look it up. For our example here, I want to build a sleeping room, so we're going to put the door on the southern side. To make a sleeping room, we need to put in a bed. So, a bed is here designated by the game as a Feng Shui building. Other items are no Feng Shui buildings. So what does that mean? Whenever something is a Feng Shui building, it does interact directly with the elements of its environment. That means if the elements are bad for the Feng Shui buildings, it's gonna be unhappy and spread bad Feng Shui through the room and make people unhappy. If the Feng Shui building is interacting positively with its environment, it's spreading good Feng Shui. So since we've built a room made out of wood, we can now figure out that a Feng Shui building made out of fire will be happy, because it has plenty of wood around it to work with. If we had built a water room, we could be placing wooden Feng Shui buildings inside it well, and so forth. So with the help of the observatory, you can click this button and check out how's the elemental spread of a room. So to our big surprise here, this room only has not so much wooden influence. That's because those wooden walls only spread their power one tile wide, basically. You see here, this square is especially wooden because it's surrounded by 3 tiles of wood walls, whereas this is less, and this is almost none, because it's already 2 tiles distant by that. And you see here, the influence is falling and falling in the center of the room. This room is actually of a earthen element. That's because, you know, those floorboards don't put into the room any elements. This soil here is earth element. So this room, even though it's made out of wooden walls, is right now an earthen element, has a strong earth element Feng Shui in it. But I want a wood elemental room. So how to do this? That's where your decoration items help you. A decoration item spreads the element it's built off. So if we now check out a vase, for example, you see it exudes this green aura. And if we would make it out of steel, it would exude this yellow aura, and so forth. So you see here, the decoration items help you to intensify the elemental power of a room. So since this is a room made out of wood, we're gonna build a bed made out of fire material here, because like I said, it's a wooden room, therefore it's gonna be happy to have, it's a wooden room, therefore a fire bed will be happy inside here. So let's drop it down, let's check out what's happening there. So we need to speed up the time a bit, because the Feng Shui needs, there needs to be a time passing for the Feng Shui to update. So now we see here in the readout that we have a +++ rating because of the bedroom. Well, that's because of the door. And the Igneo Copper bed only scores a plus. That's because the bed itself right now is standing more or less surrounded by earth elemental influences. You see here it's now of a slight green. And if it's really good, it's going to be of a dark and sated green. So like I already explained, we're going to drop down now a little bit of a few helpers here made out of timber, which are going to spread a higher wood elemental affinity. So let's put a few vases here and there. I mean, well, let's make it like this because our people should be able to walk inside there again. And now, if we put up the Feng Shui menu now again, we would see here that the Igneo Copper bed is now a little bit happier. Well, not happy enough. So let's move those a little bit. I want to use a few more powerful things here. Well, so let's check this out here. So, well, here we see now that the environment is pretty strong on the earth and elemental side. I could amp that up even more, but it's not really a necessary thing. Like you don't really benefit from that if you overkill like that. As a matter of fact, now this room even got worse by too many things. I just wanted to show you that less is more. So you see here, now things get better after we've removed those items. So if we would put somebody in here, we would already think it's a pretty decent room and such. And let's show you a bad example though. So let's move outside this thingy here, and let's put in a wooden bed, and let's surround that bed with steel decorations, because that's basically the worst thing you could do. A wooden bed would hate steel decorations, right? And let's check this out. We're gonna wait a moment, and now you see the wooden bed is actually a negative influence to this room. That's because the steel influence in this room is now bigger and bigger. So let's add some insult to injury, and let's remove those walls and replace them with steel walls. So let's use dark steel walls, and of course the door. Don't forget the door. So let's check this out. And that's how a bad Feng Shui room would look like. So the I'm pretty surprised it's not completely negative at this point, but you get the idea. You always want to put harmonious materials next to each other to get a positive influence here. So if we would now, let's say, I would even be more foolish, and let's say I'll put down a oh, well, I can't. Well, okay. Let's put down a water vat in here, made out of wood. So that'll even decrease the Feng Shui further. And you see here, this one is now even red. So let's put down another, let's say, oh yeah, let's put down a key cushion there. All right, that's even better. So let's put this down here. How and why is it even still positive? I can't understand that. acting out irrational. So now it's working out, and sometimes those readouts are a little bit irritating. So as you see here now, this place is not really of a good Feng Shui anymore. I mean, I really tried to do everything wrong that I could here, so your guys would be strongly unhappy with it. But to give you a example what would happen here, so let's move all these things outside. And let's say this is a wooden bed after all. So if we now put down ice essence items here, here, and here. So you see here it now turns green. And if we move that right next to those, you see here the Feng Shui slowly starts to shift towards positivity again. And that's how it works. Perfect example. So you really want to combine the Feng Shui buildings with decorations that are positive to them. So if you have a wooden Feng Shui building, you want to surround it with water. If you have a fire Feng Shui building, you want to surround it with wood, and so forth. And now arises the question, what kind of element should I pick? Is some element better than another? The answer is not really clear. Your element you need to pick for your Feng Shui is mostly about your law. And now we're going to head over to another gaming situation to explain that a little bit easier. Gonna be right back, friends. So back in a real playing environment with real people and everything. We see here, if we check out a cult, every cult is, or every sect is following a certain law. This guy here is following a law which is featuring fire. And a fire law disciple would now, quite logically, love a wooden environment because his power comes from fire, and his power will be bolstered if he's in an environment that's made out of wood, because remember, wood bolsters fire. So in this scenario, this is the sleeping room of my main guy. He's surrounded by wooden items, and the center here is an igneo-copper bed. So we see here in the Feng Shui readout, this place here is dark and shaded green. The other rooms have wooden beds, and we see here these are only of a pale green. And over here, we see here it's all just a pale green. That's because it's not good and it's not bad. The overall Feng Shui of this area is neutral, but as we see here, I got a brownstone alchemy furnace. So it's quite simple. The brownstone alchemy furnace is not really good because wood destroys earth. This thing is made out of earth in a wooden room. Therefore, it's not operating positively. I made a mistake there because I had no clue about Feng Shui when I began, so that's how it came together. So, friends, that's pretty much all I want to tell about Feng Shui for beginners. If I left out any informations, please drop them down in the comments below. I'm still studying this game myself, but I felt like this whole Feng Shui business really confused the hell out of me. So I'm going to summarize it one more time. Feng Shui buildings interact with the elements around them. If you want to make them happy, you have to put elements around them that are good for them. That means a wooden bed needs an environment of water. A fire bed needs an environment of wood. A earth bed needs an environment of fire, and so forth. So the Feng Shui buildings need to be accompanied by the things that are, well, right next to them. Like, this is the Feng Shui building, this is the decoration, and so forth. Anyways, I hope that was somehow helpful for you. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. I'd be deeply delighted, and as usual, if there are questions open, just drop them down below and we work through them. See you soon. Bye-bye.